What's up, guys? I've been thinking about making this video for the last little while and was recently contacted by another trainer who wanted some advice troubleshooting the results they're getting or not getting with one of their clients. And it got me thinking that this might be a good thing for trainers out there who ask for some of this advice, but also for just regular people who are struggling with changing their body, whether that's being really overweight or not. So there are two things that are really hard when it comes to being really overweight, and there are two big battles you're going to have to fight. And I'm hoping this will equip you with a weapon, or maybe not so much a weapon to fight the battle with, but a better map for the terrain. So the two big battles you're going to have to fight. One is a physical one, and one is a mental one, and I'll talk about both of those now. Physically speaking, being overweight is kind of like being in massive debt with compound interest, where you get better at going into debt the longer you're there. So let me explain that. So when you are really heavy, when you're carrying a ton of extra fat, it costs you almost nothing, metabolically speaking, or on your metabolism, on your body, to carry that extra weight. Apart from maybe some minor caloric costs or some calories it costs you to do or to be that size and carry that weight, apart from that, it just sits on you. And all that means is it limits the amount of exercise and the amount of things you can do going forward. So it sits on you almost for free, just taking up space, literally and figuratively holding you down. So apart from that, the heavier you are, the more cravings you have for food, the more efficient your body becomes at storing fat. It's kind of like the expression when people talk about money, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. When you are heavy, everything is stacked against you physically in terms of losing that weight. So the solution for this, because obviously I can't just tell you it's going to be rough and not give you a solution. There are two or three that I think are really important. One is to understand that it is absolutely going to be an unfair uphill battle if you're very overweight compared to the people who aren't that overweight who you're going to see around you. They're going to be able to get away with doing less than you and going less aggressively in the gym and being less aggressive with their diet and still getting results. As like I said, once you have this extra weight, your body's extremely efficient at storing it and gaining more fat. And other than that, it's just sitting on you, like I said, weighing you down. So the solution number one is to understand it's not going to be fair, it's not going to be reasonable, and it's going to be an uphill battle. After that, you basically need to be significantly more aggressive than seems reasonable right out of the gate. If you're a woman who is 5'6" and you weigh 200 pounds, a reasonable amount of calories for you might be 1,900 a day. You might end up having to eat 1,300 a day to start initially getting some of that weight off. Because like I said, if we're talking about this, looking at it as debt, as physical debt, where the interest compounds, not only do you have to pay your regular bills, you have to start making big payments against the debt you have calorically to start getting that to come off. And then the third thing is if a beginner needs to train at what feels like a 7 out of 10 effort, someone who's really heavy is going to have to force themselves to train at what feels like a 9 out of 10 effort. Because not only do you have the actual workload that you're doing, the exercises you're performing in the gym that give you that feeling of exertion, you also have the equivalent of a weighted vest sitting on top of you. So where we would normally tell someone, I'm looking out in the gym, tell someone out here in the gym to be doing a 7 out of 10, a lot of people who come in very heavy are going to have to feel like they're working towards a 9 out of 10. Now the second area where I think being very heavy is very hard to navigate through and to slowly change away from is mentally. And I'll give you a really easy example. I could be a terrible person. I could murder puppies. And if I go look in the mirror, I can stand there without holding a dead puppy. I can look in the mirror and say, wow, what a nice guy. I look like a nice guy. I can smile at myself. I can meet someone new. And I can meet them for the first time. I can act very nice. And they can have no idea that I am a ferocious puppy killer. I can very quickly change my image to both how I see myself and how someone else sees me by just not doing that particular behavior. Maybe a less extreme example would be a smoker. If I decide right now that I'm a smoker and I'm going to quit, and I put the cigarette down and I meet you today for the first time you see a non-smoker, you already will have a belief about me, seeing me, that supports the new image I'm trying to create. When you are very heavy, you do not have this advantage. Every time you look in the mirror, every time someone else looks at you, they're going to see a big heavy person. It's going to reinforce that previous identity that you need to get away from. Now, whether this is fair or not is largely irrelevant, but you can't put down a hamburger and instantly meet someone new and have them go, oh wow, this person is in shape, this person is healthy, even if those are all the behaviors you've adopted and you're on your way there. So one of the really important things, maybe the most important thing in terms of changing your body, is going to be making sure that you are working both physically and mentally to change at least how you see yourself. The outside world will catch up. If your habits stay in the direction they need to stay in to allow you to lose the weight, if mentally you adjust how you see yourself, the outside world will catch up, but you have to be first. The people around you will get there, but you have to be first. You have to change how you see yourself so that you can start adopting this new persona and this new body that will come with it.